The Maple Uprising, a Canadian fiction. Chapter 8, The Maple Uprising, Part 2. The world watched as a nation once known for its peaceful demeanor awakened to demand a government that truly represented them. The whispers of the Maple Uprising were no longer a clandestine murmur but a resounding call that reverberated through the international community. While the political maneuvering unfolded in Ottawa, the SCNC's intelligence operatives continued their mission. They gathered sensitive information from government databases, exposing the depth of the state's surveillance and the extent to which the government had manipulated information and suppressed dissent. The evidence they collected was a stark reminder of the need for change. In cities across the nation, law enforcement agencies found themselves at a crossroads. The messages from the SCNC and the evidence of government wrongdoing had left many officers grappling with their loyalties. Some chose to stand by the people, refusing orders to suppress the uprisings, while others remained loyal to the old regime. The result was a fragmented law enforcement apparatus, further fueling the uncertainty of the moment. The Maple Uprising had evolved into a complex and multifaceted transformation. The SCNC's actions had triggered a domino effect that stretched from the heart of government to the streets. The nation was during a profound transition, and the world watched with bated breath as Canada's destiny hung in the balance. As the Maple Uprising unfolded with the precision of a well-orchestrated symphony, the consequences of the SCNC's audacious plan became increasingly clear. The nation had reached a pivotal moment in its history, and the transformation was as swift as it was profound. In Ottawa, the political maneuvering had reached a climax. The government, once unyielding in its grip on power, now faced an ultimatum. The bills presented by SCNC sympathetic politicians had gained momentum, and the momentum was unstoppable. The political landscape was shifting, with an emphasis on transparency, accountability, and the re-establishment of Canada's sovereignty. In the streets, the peaceful protesters had grown in number. They were joined by more citizens who, spurred by the unfolding events, raised their voices in unity. The nation had become a sea of red and white, as the Canadian flag waved high alongside banners bearing the SCNC emblem. It was a vivid display of the people's desire for change, a desire that had transcended political divides and brought Canadians from all walks of life together. Within the government, a sense of desperation grew. The regime's loyalists were unwilling to relinquish their power, and they made attempts to suppress the uprising. Clashes erupted in pockets of the nation, as law enforcement agencies torn between loyalty to the old regime and sympathy for the people found themselves in conflict. The Canadian military, a historically neutral force, faced a momentous decision. They could either support the regime and risk being seen as an oppressor of the people or stand with the growing wave of change. The world watched with bated breath as the military's decision would have far-reaching consequences. Amid this chaos, the SCNC leaders remained hidden, carefully observing the unfolding events. They knew that this was a pivotal moment, a moment that could lead to either a peaceful transition of power or a violent confrontation that would scar the nation. The Maple Uprising was at a crossroads. The nation was poised between revolution and restoration, and the path it would take remained uncertain. The SCNC had set in motion a transformation of unprecedented scale, and the consequences of their actions were playing out in real time. The hopes and fears of a nation reborn were embodied in these decisive moments, and the world continued to watch the audacious coup's impact on the future of Canada.